Welcome to elegance, Milwaukee style. You can sense it in the surroundings.
Have a great day. Are you all set on directions then? Yeah. All right.
The human exchange. The softness of the piano and the sensuous kitchen aromas.
Every little girl who grows up in Milwaukee dreams of coming here and getting married.
The Pfister Hotel is a symbol of luxury.
We want you to feel good from the inside out.
And local pride.
That's amazing.
Thank
Every
you.
day, 307 rooms plus the public areas are clean.
Yes.
For more than 120 years, the Pfister has defined the meaning of service.
This is my house, this is my living room, and you are my guest.
Members of the hospitality staff regard it as an art, a noble craft.
Whether you're a first-time guest or if you're a returning guest, we want you to have, a wonderful experience.
The Latin word salve, for warm welcome and fond farewell, graces the hotel lobby ceiling.
It's making sure that they feel just as happy when they leave here as when they got here.
Throughout its history, the Pfister has hosted a succession of U.S. presidents and countless celebrities.
Everybody who was anybody stayed here. Woodrow Wilson, Taft, McKinley.
Celebrity or not, one's privacy is a priority.
We don't communicate who's in house, and one thing that we have been very successful with is keeping the discretion.
Daily life at the Pfister is in constant rhythm. About 2 million guests pass through the lobby a year. Rooms are changing over from special events to housekeeping.
The minestrone, risotto, and the battered chicken.
Gourmet banquets are prepared and served under lavish decor. Guests are pampered in the Well Spa Salon. They find serenity in the studio of artist-in-residence Stephanie Behrens.
The great way to start a conversation is for people to come in, see your process, start asking questions.
Many of those visitors have interesting stories of their own and shared them with Pfister narrator and blogger Molly Snyder.
I want to hear stories about people who are traveling from all over the world. I want to hear what brings them to the Pfister.
Legend has it one of those visitors is from the distant past. Could it be the ghost of hotel founder Charles Pfister? Such is the daily life and rhythm inside the Pfister, a Milwaukee hotel icon.
The Pfister story actually begins with a tragedy about another Milwaukee hotel icon. The Newhall House was regarded as one of the finest hotels in the West.
That all ended with the deadly fire on January 10, 1883. Despite the heroics of firefighters, an estimated 90 lives were lost. Milwaukee was deeply grieved. It was also in need of another grand hotel. Pfister's chef concierge Peter Mortensen says it was for good reason. Back then, a city was often judged by the quality of its hospitality.
If you had a grand hotel, it meant you weren't a boom town, you weren't a crossroads, you were going to be there for a while. And so to have this grand hotel disappear was a great loss for the city, and they were not going to sustain that.
Enter prominent businessman Guido Pfister. Pfister's dealings range from leather to railroading and insurance. The goal of helping build a new luxury hotel became his civic duty.
Civic leaders formed an initiative called the Milwaukee Grand Hotel Company. Land was acquired, but soon the project began losing momentum.
Guido Pfister died in 1889, but his son Charles and daughter Louise were determined to fulfill his vision. They even used funds from the Pfister estate. Renowned architect Henry C. Koch took charge, as he did in the design of numerous other landmarks, such as Jesu Church and Milwaukee City Hall. On May 1, 1893, the Pfister Hotel opened in grand style. It cost more than $1 million to complete. The Pfister was elegant and state-of-the-art.
The Pfister was a unique hotel among unique hotels. It was one of the most technologically sophisticated hotels of its day. One of the first purpose-built all-electric hotels. As ornamental as it is right now, there was even more three-dimensional work, more plaster work and paper mache. Very, very vivid colors.
When you walk into the Pfister, everyone is just blown away by the beauty of the lobby. You look up, it's so ornate, it's so beautiful, the architecture is wonderful.
And so it is today.
The Pfister Hotel, of course, is just the crown jewel of beauty in downtown Milwaukee.
Technically, the dominant beauty is defined as Richardsonian Romanesque revival. Add to it a touch of Baroque. In reality, the Pfister's flesh and bones defy definition. You just take it all in. Whether staring up at the heavenly lobby ceiling, the stately columns and chandeliers in the Rouge, or the graceful Victorian design of the Imperial Ballroom. But the Pfister Hotel hasn't always had a glamorous life. In 1962, another prominent businessman saved it from a potential wrecking ball. His name was Ben Marcus. Marcus restored the Pfister to its former glory and added a 23-story guest room tower.
And to that end, immediately, as soon as they completed purchase of the original hotel, they began plans to expand and enlarge the property to make it really a dynamic center for the city.
Historical integrity, tradition, and contemporary hospitality still combine to celebrate a community treasure.
You know, the logo on your chest there reads the Pfister Executive Chef. What does that mean to you?
It's humbling. I'm passionate about where the office that I hold has been the executive chef office for 120 years. And every single day we remind ourselves of those who came before us, the great traditions of this hotel, and we expect greatness out of each other to live up to those expectations. I'm honored to have the chair that I sit and to work in the hotel that I do.
Well, we like to exceed expectations on a regular basis, but that's not always possible. It's making someone's ordinary day extraordinary.
For housekeeping director Annie Fang, that often means putting her staff through a white glove inspection.
My room attendant, when they see me use that, they are screaming because we are the Pfister.
Are you a tough supervisor?
I usually will take a supervisor with me so they can see what I expected.
Yes.
The spirit and vision of the Pfister family is alive and well at Jefferson and Wisconsin. Some people believe that spirit is present in a more literal sense. Major League Baseball players notorious for being superstitious about their profession have contributed richly to the haunted theory. Bryce Harper of the Nationals talks about waking up and noticing his clothes and a table have been rearranged in his room. Michael Young of the Phillies says after making peace with an unknown presence, he finally stopped hearing footsteps in his room. In truth, the legend of Charles Pfister's ghost stems from a creative Halloween news release. When chef concierge Peter Mortensen suggested the possibility, he didn't expect it would be taken so seriously.
What I came up with in the press release was the idea that anytime anything went wrong at the hotel, you know, somebody slammed a door, somebody knocked over a tray of glasses, somebody's vacuum cleaner was missing, they would say, well, it must have been the ghost of Charles Pfister.
Over the years, the playful thought has taken on a life of its own, and Pfister staffers often reassure guests with a wink and a nod, there's nothing to fear.
That's a big thing with first-time guests and everything and stuff. So, you know.
What do you tell them?
I tell them, well, you know, I've been here going on 7 years, all different hours of the night and during the day. I've not seen anything, you know, out of the ordinary. But if you see anything floating at night, please let me know, because I'd be interested in seeing it as well.
Absolutely.
How are you doing today, Karina?
I'm doing great, Omar.
Are we taking good care of our guests today?
Of course.
Yes? Anything special today that I need to know?
Omar Naimi is making his daily rounds at the Pfister.
Okay, great.
As director of hotel operations, he's constantly on the move. It's his job to view the place as if he were checking in himself.
You have to put on the lenses of a guest. Sometimes we might be too much in a hurry to miss a lot of things that are relevant and important to our guest. And that could be a placement of pens at the desk. It could be the placement of towels. So that you have to walk into the shower and step out of the shower and grab a towel to be able to see what the guest is experiencing.
It's all part of the hotel icon's definition of luxury service. Anticipating and exceeding the needs of a guest are key.
And it's not just how can I make the experience here at the hotel better, how can I make their experience here in Milwaukee better, you know?
That's true, whether working the front door.
Thank you. How was lunch?
It was awesome.
Good to hear. Have a great day. It ranges from helping check-ins out of a cab and helping with their baggage, and then valeting vehicles, all from taking the luggage out of the vehicle, getting it on a cart, passing it off to the bellman inside.
Preparing banquet luncheons.
What's going on around you?
The old phrase, soup to nuts. We're going to start them off with soup. We have another one doing a hot plated lunch. This will have a hot plated as lunch as well. Our pastry shop gets involved in finishing the desserts right as they go out. So it's a cool orchestrated thing.
Serving the dining room.
So as I'm walking around the room as a server, I'm looking at your table, but I'm seeing someone over in the corner of my eye start to look impatient, making sure that we walk up to that customer and say, can I get something for you? It might be that their water glass is empty, or it might be that their steak isn't done the way they'd like it. But being able to anticipate those guests' needs is what sets us apart from our competition.
Or cleaning a suite from top to bottom.
I'm pretty good at cleaning house, but I'm not this good.
Veteran housekeeper Claudia Vasquez does her job with the skill of an athlete. It's ultimate multitasking. In just over 30 minutes, the two-room suite is sparkling, as if no one has ever stayed here before.
When one of your housekeepers enters the guest room, what is he or she looking at, and what is the starting point, and what are they trying to accomplish?
They have to strip the rooms, take all the garbage out, start to making a bed, then clean bathroom, then we dust from the top to the bottom, and last things that we vacuum.
That's not to mention the appeal of personal amenities like the Pfister's full-service spa and salon.
Hey, a little pampering never hurt anyone.
We have heated floors, heated mirrors, heated robes, your own iPod hookup, your own choice of satellite, your own choice of aromatherapy, and your own choice of temperature for both the room and the bed. You know, if you're feeling like you're having a horrible day or a horrible week, and maybe internally you're not feeling so good, you could come in and get your nails done, or you could come in and get a massage, and you will leave here feeling really good.
The daily rhythm inside the Pfister Hotel never ceases. That's especially true when it comes to special events.
It's a continuous effort of staging a room, tearing it down, only to start the process all over again.
We've gone through the part of the setup in the evening, and now we're working towards the wait staff is working on setting up the dining room for the arrival of the guests that are which about an hour away from right now.
Some clients have had their civic or business gatherings at the Pfister for 30 years. That puts pressure on the hotel staff to keep coming up with fresh ideas.
So we're always having to change our tactics on service, food presentations, the setup of the events, the colors that we're using, things like that.
The Rouge is one of the more ornate dining rooms in the Pfister. It's also one of the most versatile.
We can do anything from meetings in this room to receptions with standing style food and beverage to wedding receptions. So everything from corporate to social.
Today, the Rouge Dining Room is hosting a special event for the Marcus Corporation itself. Obviously, the Pfister staff wants to make a strong impression.
In about an hour, we will have 50 of our colleagues coming over from our corporate office to enjoy a special lunch as an appreciation for all that they do for us on a daily basis. And so because it is a special occasion, we've really taken it to the next level by renting linens and having centerpieces and a special video made. And our staff is going the extra mile to make sure that everything is set and perfect for them.
At this level of the professional service industry, perfection is the goal, but motivation comes from the heart.
It's something I think that's innate in people. You either have it or you don't. I think you can train someone to do the job, but to train someone to be a service professional and really have that in their heart is difficult to do. It has to be something within you.
Nothing is left to chance. The Pfister staff works as a team. It plans, communicates, and evaluates its daily performance.
We discuss those every day in our morning meetings and discuss what's going to happen throughout the day, and then we have a mid-morning meeting where we follow up on the things. And then we wrap up the day with closeout of what happened during the day, if something went right or something went wrong, and how we corrected it and how we manage it going forward.
Before those lunches arrived in the Rouge, the kitchen and dining crews were updating their rundown.
The minestrone, risotto, and the battered chicken is all going to be in the same hot box, or are we going to stagger it a little bit?
I think we're going to stagger.
Okay.
Soup and risotto's going to go at the same time.
It's going to go at the same time, and then as soon as I serve that, as soon as I serve the soup,
yeah, there you go with the risotto.
As soon as I serve the soup, I'm coming back upstairs to get the chicken.
Yes.
Because it needs to go quick.
Yeah. So
we have 4 courses in an hour.
why did it push back?
And that rundown would actually read like 6:12, serve the drinks.
Exactly.
6:20, serve the salads. And,
Yes.
and you're expected to keep to that.
Well, I will tell you that we'd love to be able to keep to that schedule, but as we all know, those things don't typically keep. So it's, you could be 10 minutes behind, and the job of the person who's doing the orchestration is to make sure that we make those changes and roll with those changes without letting anyone in the audience know that those changes were made.
Hello. Hi. Need a taxi or anything, sir? Are you going to need the vehicle anymore this evening at all?
The team approach to greeting a guest is especially important at the front door and lobby.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome.
The transition of service from curb to room is a seamless experience.
Now, how do you maintain eye contact with other stations here in the lobby so as to coordinate the needs of your guests?
It's orchestrated, not chaos, but
Sure.
it's sort of it's a symphony that just flows. And again, after and I haven't been here a terribly long time, especially as much as some of the folks that have been here, but we all have either been in the industry long enough that we kind of know what cues to look for. If I'm helping someone at the desk and I need a bellman, it could be something as simple as just a glance over and an eye connection.
One of our golden rules here at the Pfister Hotel is our 5-foot distance rule that we have, and you try to engage the guests from 5 feet away to see if they may need any type of service or assistance or something like that there. And you try to keep, I don't want to say keep your head on the swivel, but you're trying to, watch the people as they're coming and going and everything to see if they may need assistance with concierge or at the front desk or any type of assistance. You're engaging that and you're getting a chance to read the individuals. But you're dancing this year?
I am dancing.
Oh, wow, I wish you all the best then, most definitely.
And so goes the daily rhythm of service at a Milwaukee hotel icon.
So here I'm on a bicycle, and I thought the best way to start off my proposal for the hotel was to do my life story.
Stephanie Behrens illustrates her stories on canvas. Molly Snyder writes them on her laptop.
I knew from the beginning that this was just the perfect combination for me, and that I'm just so glad it worked out.
Exceptional service is the mission of the Pfister Hotel. A deep connection with the arts, culture, and community is also important. It enriches that mission with a sense of purpose. Molly and Stephanie's gifted work helps do just that. Fine art has always played an important role in the life of the Pfister, both performing and visual. From the evening instrumentals of Dr. Jeffrey Hollander to the elegant sculptures and extensive Victorian collection.
And I just thought, that's perfect. That's a dream come true.
Stephanie Behrens has traveled a good part of the world to develop her craft. Now she's taken up professional residence at the Pfister to share her discipline with others. She is the 5th artist in residence to do so.
Those experiences keep coming up in my work, even ones from 10 years ago. They're constantly coming back, and there's different triggers that'll bring that out. It might be a cool building in Milwaukee that will remind me of something I saw in Europe or something I saw in Beijing.
And you incorporate a lot of different mediums here in telling your different stories and creating your different images. What is that all about?
Well, I started out as a printmaker, and so my work definitely has a graphic quality to it. So I see my work being born out of printmaking. Hard black line is really important to my work. You know, you'll see it all coming up in almost every painting. So I always say that my work's a merging of drafting and drawing and painting.
Stephanie has set up shop just off the hotel lobby. It's all part of the effort by the Pfister to offer guests a chance to experience art in the making. Passers-by can observe Stephanie at work through the large glass window or step inside the studio for a closer look and a chance to learn more about her art and travels. In turn, she's learning more about them.
Great way to start a conversation is for people to come in, see your process, start asking questions, start talking about the work, and then they start telling you their experiences, and all of a sudden you have a great story and you start to develop a relationship with this person.
Stephanie plans to illustrate many of their stories. In so doing, she's helping document the Pfister community, oftentimes far-reaching.
We do get a lot of international guests here as well, all from all over the world.
Omar Naimi brings international experience to his job as well, and appropriately so. In today's global community, cultural awareness is essential to quality service.
You might have we might have a Japanese contingent coming into the Pfister staying here with us, and the Japanese traveler has specific needs that not necessarily all travelers have. And that is a hearty breakfast, that is everything working in the guest room in a different way where, you know, they have accessibility to phone, things are communicated to them effectively, and they're very time-conscientious travelers.
Despite its reputation for excellence, the Pfister isn't resting on its laurels. The hotel icon is actively engaging in the marketplace to maintain and expand a loyal connection.
We do a lot of online. Our website presence is huge for us. We have a great blog that we put together that has stories of people that have been through the Pfister before for various reasons.
Veteran Milwaukee writer Molly Snyder knows a good story when she hears it.
And I'll admit, it can be a little awkward at times because people are sitting down, they're enjoying a drink, they're enjoying a meal, you know, they're having a getaway, or they've had a long day of business.
As the official Pfister narrator or blogger, her beat is the hotel lobby. That's where Molly is always on the lookout for an interesting guest.
I have deep intuition in terms of who I feel like might be up for it, who looks interesting to me, and then it's just a lot of faith. I just walk into it.
What kind of stories are you looking for?
I want to hear stories about people who are traveling from all over the world. I want to hear what brings them to the Pfister. I want to hear them what their thoughts are about Milwaukee in comparison to where they're from. I want to hear stories from people's everyday lives.
Social media is Molly's tool of her trade, but old-fashioned curiosity drives the content of her stories.
And so when you combine people who are willing to tell me their stories, because I am nosy at heart, which is why I'm also enjoying this job.
Molly's blog appears regularly on the Pfister's website. She and Stephanie Behrens often collaborate in their work. Together, their words and images are preserving the daily life and culture of a Milwaukee treasure. Brian Frakes isn't just a great executive chef.
It's an honor to have you. Welcome to the Pfister.
He loves his work, as do other members of the hospitality team, like bellman Harold Lewis.
What I like to do, if it's a first-time guest, you know, I like to welcome them, ask them, you know, how long are they planning on staying with us? You know, what brings them to the Milwaukee and the Pfister Hotel for their visit.
Or housekeeping director Annie Fang, who's well aware of guest expectations.
They want to smell the room is clean, like nobody stayed here before.
I'm very fortunate in terms of what I do.
And chef concierge Peter Mortensen, who feels a deep connection with the building and its patrons.
This building evolves. It changes its skin. It changes its face. And it does that in response to what animates it, which is the people who are inside of it.
Their gracious manner and the architectural beauty reflect the culture of our city. The Pfister Hotel has remained true to its 1893 mission. Milwaukee's no boomtown. Challenges? Yes. But we've also withstood the test of time. Preserving an historic treasure isn't easy.
What are people looking for when they come to a hotel? They want to see things that are new and cutting edge, but still making sure that it fits within the walls of the Pfister.
We want to maintain this beautiful building of ours. We want to also stay current in the technology environment too, that our travelers are getting very, very savvy in the technology, and we want to keep up to that.
It takes capital and commitment. It also requires creative thought.
We have China over here.
Initiatives like the Artist in Residence and Pfister Narrator extend the hotel's energy beyond its own walls. Hospitality executives call it relevance. The daily rhythm of the house that Charles Pfister built continues, from the kitchens to the banquet halls, guest rooms, front door, and lobby. A skillful staff and majestic place are honoring a tradition.
You will need to use your room key here in the key card slot, so just insert your room key and pull it out and press your floor lever, okay? Now, when do you take the dance floor?
Like our town itself, this Milwaukee hotel icon is here to stay.